Welcome to Natural Habitat Adventures Daily Dose of Nature. Today's topic, Grand India Season Finale, Tiger Tales, and more. Presented by Nat Hab Expedition Leader Arpita Dutta. I'm your host, Rob Mess. Thank you for being here with us today. Take it away, Arpita.
Thank you, Rob, and thank you everyone for tuning in today. And at first, I would like to wish all of you a happy World Environment Day. I know we all care for the environment. We somehow work, we volunteer, we love wildlife, we love to do all this travel. I mean, we do travel for to feel the adventure, to see nature. So I think, yeah. So have a great day, and let me know that what you have done or what you have seen today later. So here, first I would say that I really don't know how would I finish the webinar in on time because it got really big, the presentation. And I had to do this Grand India season finale, because this trip, I mean, the last trip of the season, I think that the amount of wildlife we have come across is just phenomenal. And all the sightings, it's not only the tiger sightings, but when it comes to birds, other mammals, the reptiles, and of course, this beautiful habitat. I think it was all together, and we had to squeeze everything in that duration. But we had some incredible time on the last trip. So just to give you a little idea, because I might have to say in few areas, we had only two vehicles because we had less number of guests. And so, and all the sightings and everything I'll talk about, it's not only that the two vehicles, since it's all together, it's a combined thing, what all we have come across together. As we know that for the Grand India, we start our journey from Delhi, and but I'm not going to talk about the city tour today. I'll quickly jump in to the wildlife part. So the first national park we go is in Bandhavgarh, and see uh, how beautiful the habitat looks. I mean, you enter the park, and this is one of my favorite zone in Bandhavgarh, just because of the habitat. It looks stunning. I mean, every turn you take, it seems like it's a different forest altogether. And the vegetation, this plateau-like hilly terrain, and the grassland, and there are some woodland and semi-evergreen forest as well, because it's in high summer, so mostly it is very brown most of the time. But what an incredible forest it is. And with that, let me quickly start with the birds of prey, because I think this trip we have seen not only one but different birds of prey and other birds too, and even the same species of birds of prey several times. And this last trip was pretty much even enjoying for me, because we have Liz, I mean, one of our guests. She is a big time birder. So with her, we went crazy at one point just doing birding, and it was so much fun. So here is our crested hawk eagle, and to start with this one is we had an amazing video, but I could not just pull in any of the video in during this trip. Maybe someday I'll try to figure it out, that how we can make put short videos into the slides. So this one was really close, and it was actually perched a little, almost towards our eye level, and it was looking at something. So you can see here, though it's a side face, but it was looking at something and it was pointing out. And before it took a flight, it's amazingly shake its body, just lowered its neck and stretched its wing and just flew right beside us. I think that was an incredible sight to see this. I mean, if I see a tiger eye and then we see the birds of prey eye, it doesn't make much difference because how they focus, how actively they, you know, catch their prey. So yeah, this crested hawk eagle was a big highlight, and then it goes to another one, which is a crested serpent eagle, but this is a juvenile one. And we have found innumerable number of crested serpent eagle. I always say that crested serpent eagle has an amazing patience. You can see even the juvenile while taking pictures, while we were just standing there, not even taking pictures, just looking at it, that exactly what it is observing, how it is moving its head, but it didn't move from that area. So it was an amazing thing to do that, to look at them. And this is a brown fish owl. Most of the time, even in the last few trips, it was, hiding because it's in the morning or in the afternoon. So it's not dark. So it's always used to be behind the bush. So sometimes it gets very difficult. You can see that when you have to give a visual, you have to say that there is the owl. It gets very difficult to give the visual aid and then find the owl. But luckily, this time, we have come across like two, 3 times the brown fish owl there, and this time they were like sitting right on the open, this branch, and it was so easy to look at it. But of course, it didn't give us a look. Uh, just kept its eye closed from the entire sighting, especially this one. But the later one in the evening we got, and then it just turned back just to see, okay, see you guys, now you can leave the forest. It was more like an attitude like that. Then next is, we had an amazing sighting of the vultures, of different type species of vultures, the Indian vulture, the Egyptian, the king vulture, or the red-headed vulture. And unfortunately, we had an amazing sighting with a red-headed vulture just on like feeding on a dead spotted deer fawn. But somehow I was so happy. I came back to room and I thought that I have to just dump all the pictures. But somehow I don't know in which world I was, and I just without dumping, I have deleted all the pictures, like formatted my memory card. So for this point, it is always better to carry 2, 3 memory cards with you along. This time I didn't. Generally, I don't do that, but this time I did, and this thing has happened. Um, so yeah, so this beautiful vultures we have come across, and I think because of the summer, all the residential birds were on their breeding season, and we have seen so many like peafowl have been displaying. We have seen it on the branch, on a stone, near the water, on the grassland, everywhere, almost so many like displaying thing we have captured. And of course, with this thing, we have come across a few where they were female, and of course it was very annoying for the female that the male is doing this, but it is really a tough job for the male. We were at one sighting, we have been like there for almost 15-20 minutes just to see that what how the female respond to his dancing. But like unlucky fellow that the female was less interested and it just moved on. Even sometimes we have found two male peafowl like sizing, not sizing, like displaying to show that who is better than whom, and they do fight a lot. But I think with when it comes to like wooing the female, uh, this is like the best part is to see them, like you know that they are trying so hard, but the female is not giving much attention to the male, and then their behavior keeps changing. I think that's an incredible thing to watch when you are just in front, in quiet, like it just you just see the observe their behavior pattern. And yes, we got amazing, like one, I would say one of the best roller sighting we had this season. And of course, I managed amazing pictures, but then again I have deleted those. But yeah, those, I mean, one roller, it didn't move, it flew, and it just, because it was very sunny, I think it needed some shade. So our vehicle stood on the track, it was standing on the track, and the roller flew, and just it, because a shadow was there, and it just sat on a small mound right beside our vehicle. I mean, we could have taken a full frame picture of the roller, and it was not moving from there. So, and yeah, every time it was flying and coming back. So yeah, you can imagine that the flash of all these flashes of indigo colors were there in front of us. So yeah, it was beautiful, beautiful sighting. And I think Liz was also very happy, and she could manage definitely a some beautiful flight shots of the roller. And yes, we have seen the ruddy mongoose quite a good number of time, even in Bandhavgarh and in Kanha. And yeah, in some cases I could capture a few, but they were pretty far. But this, they are like quite curious. In some of their behavior, you would see that they will turn back to you and see that whether you are coming or not, coming close or not. But it is better to just, as soon as you see them, you stop, and then they would be slow and they would move around the bush and do their job, like foragings most of the time. So yeah, and it's not like a very regular thing you see, hardly one or two sighting, but this time we got like too many sightings. I couldn't even like count. Then, of course, as I was saying, that the behavior of the male of wooing the female, it's incredible to watch. So this tag, you can see it's on heat, and it been moving around the female. I had the video, but anyway, I couldn't manage a better picture. So this I think for this one we were there for more than 35 to 40 minutes just to watch this stag and what it is doing. So imagine this is a grassland. This whole area is a grassland, and there is a water body behind this. And there were a lot of other animals. There were langurs and other spotted deer, your wild boars, and other birds. And this stag was moving around this female. So at one time there was another stag from this area were just approaching towards the female. It was not even, it was just grazing. This fellow just ran towards that male, almost pushing it away from that vicinity so that the female doesn't get distracted towards another male. And it literally started, you know, raising its neck, like, you know, putting it up and make its I mean, the gesture was to make it feel much more taller than the other male. So this kind of conflict or the combat it was about to do, but that male was less interested, so it just moved away from there. But yeah, ultimately after 35 to 40 minutes we have been waiting to see, but disappointing that the female just moved away with the other female, the younger female in that group. So yeah, that was an amazing. I think that day's highlight was this spotted deer sighting over there. And yes, as we have said that there were like loads of tiger sighting. In total we had 28 sightings. And out of 28, I think we have come across near about 17 individual, 17 or 18 individual tigers. So you can imagine that how it's going to be. Though there were some, we have seen the same male or female quite a few number of times, and that is also another one jeep they have seen like the mother and three cubs, so four over there, and we have seen the go elder like grown up cubs. So while going, uh, once we enter the Bandhavgarh area and we moved, and in India, so you get to hear all this forest, like the distress calls, right, of the langur and the deer. So suddenly we heard some langur alarm call, and we have been waiting for the another one tiger at one area because we know that the movement is there. We got to see some fresh tracks over there, and we stopped our vehicle, and because it was scorching, like it's in summer in Bandhavgarh and Kanha, these are like really really hot. And so we were like we hopped near a shade, and we have been waiting that we get to hear anything or not. And suddenly we hear some langur alarm calls, which is near about maybe 500 to 600 meter ahead of from where we were standing. And of course, and once you hear it, you know from which side the call is coming, and you know it's an active call. Then there is no more wait, you just drive in there. And so our driver, he took the vehicle at that point of time at there, and it was far, like it was a big grassland in between and near the forest land, and where you see this tree and this area, this is a hilly terrain out here. And we saw, like, initially we saw the tail, the back, and then the tigress just came out with a fawn, with a spotted deer fawn kill. So the spotted deer alarm calls, what we have been listening and what was thinking that it could be the tiger whose fresh tracks we have seen, but it's not like that. That time, this tigress was making a kill, and she came in, she walked along this grassland, and slowly it moved towards the hill. And they generally do, they don't want to get disturbed, so they just go far away. it must be it must have moved somewhere, and all the langurs at the top, they have been, as long as they could see the tigress, uh, they kept on giving alarm calls. But then you know that the alarm call is moving and she's moving exactly where. So yeah, that, I think that was an incredible sighting. And at the same time, there's a whole all the drama which was happening around was pretty stunning. And yes, we have a couple of more tiger sightings, and of course, I don't have those pictures. And here we were watching this sighting happened amazing. We went to another place to get to see a big male, and that male is in its prime time. So you can imagine that was pretty big with a very round face. And so we have been waiting there. Generally, he I mean, it's kind of, you can make a, like, you can actually make up a time that this is the time it generally come down near the stream to drink some water or to sit near that water body to cool itself down. And so we have been waiting. We saw jungle owlet. We have been seeing the for your pea Indian peafowls, then jungle fowl. We saw the red spar fowl. We have been seeing so many things, but after a long wait, we could not like find the tiger. And at one point of time, we thought that okay, maybe it's not coming, or it can see us from somewhere. That's the reason why it is not coming there. But suddenly, before we thought that okay, we can leave now, one of the other vehicle driver saw that the tiger has been sitting like pretty far, like it was very far. So I didn't even take out my camera. With binocular you can see it well. It is just hiding I mean, it might have had a good amount of food, and that's the reason why it is like very, in a very lazy gesture, it was lying down, and only you can see the head is up from the grass, and it's looking, and then again it's lying down back. So we could figure it out that it is not ready to come out from there, come near the stream. So honestly, we got a bit not disappointed, but we have been thinking that it would have been amazing if this big male would have come out near the stream. We could have watched it very nicely, because exactly how we have positioned our vehicle. And suddenly we have been coming back and thinking that, okay, there is another water body, we can go and check. And in my mind, I had like, we might get to see the sloth there. So we were coming close to it, and we saw that another vehicle was passing by, like beside us. And that's okay, there is a tiger sighting happening. Okay, so there is no uh, like time to ask questions, or how or where, you just follow. So we followed that vehicle, and we came across this pool, this water body, and we found the mother and two cubs. And definitely it was like how we were feeling bad that we couldn't see the male out there, but I think this was a bonus for us to see the cubs and the mother. And the cubs were in like so playful. It was coming, rubbing its body against mother's face, making small, like teeny tiny growls, and was really observing, like, okay, there are a few couple of jeeps were standing there. So it was more curious that what is happening around. But the female was pretty used to with this thing, so she was chilled in the water. And one cub is with the mother, and the other cub was near that on top of that bank, behind a bush. So yeah, two of them were there. And so this one came down in the water and sat beside her, then climbed on her back. So all this thing kept on happening, but we have been enjoying and could have enjoyed much more. Maybe that other cub would have joined its like its sibling and the mother, but we were like going out of time because we had to leave the forest. um, so yeah, we left them there, and we had to leave. And you can see this is how we were, this is one of our vehicle, I was in the other vehicle. So, and here is the water body out here. So they were been like it's an amazing sighting altogether. But yes, we left from there, and we had few more tiger sightings happened out there. We have seen a male, and even there was a leopard sighting happened in Bandhavgarh as well. So that was another vehicle which has seen it. In Bandhavgarh, but of course they're very quick. So these sightings, you see them, but no, it doesn't have so much of time. Like, you're waiting, they are there. At one point of time, you would see, okay, they are not even moving. They're just chilled out, but there are not much disturbance and thing. And so you get to see them doing everything, how you can imagine these animals to be. So anyhow, we ended up Bandhavgarh trip. And the last safari, we got to see even the mottled owl. Like it gave a call, we got to see it flying, but it was getting dark, so we could not see it much. And yes, we came back to wind up Bandhavgarh's stories and too many sightings. And then next day morning, we were heading towards Kanha. But yes, we didn't stop looking out for the wildlife. So there is a place where we get to see this flying fox. These are the fruit bats, and there are like hundreds, or rather, I would say thousands of fruit bats were hanging upside down with some pups, and like all together cooling themselves off. And yeah, making few noises, fanning their wings. And yeah, we spent a good number of like good amount of time out there looking at them, like looking at their face. I mean, it's a they are bad, but actually when you look through the binocular and you see their behavior, it's really fun. And I find them, their face very cute, very innocent face they have. But yes, we did see this. And then we reached Kanha. And after reaching Kanha, we did our night safari where we have seen more than 10 or 12 Indian hare and deer, some spiders, and yes, some roosting butterflies, but not any big animals, and some owlets, yes, but not any big animals we could see. But anyway, the next day morning, what we definitely wait for, especially me, as I say that Kanha is like my first crush. So I keep on waiting for the entire time that when I get to go there next. And so yeah, it's our first morning safari in Kanha. Just see this beautiful. Even in summer, you can see this beautiful mist on above the grassland because there are water bodies, and this beautiful sunrise. You enter and you see the sunrise inside the forest, and it's just incredible. I mean, you get amazing landscape pictures from Kanha, and this is something. I mean, once somebody is in Kanha and you have seen this morning sunrise inside the forest, I believe that it will be always in your brain, like in your hard disk. It will never get removed from there. It gets so stunning. So yeah, on our first safari, we started with some deer and the grassland, and then we got to see the tiger. And about the tiger, and this time I felt that for the Kanha tigers right now, which is who all are there, are there in that tourism area, we must talk about them, like their family, their legacy they are carrying. That would be amazing, but maybe in the next webinar. So we got to see her. She is a young sub adult, but I fell in love with this tigress. I mean, she is mind blowing. Her behavior is exactly like a mature female. The way she thinks, the way she walks, and she has no fear, and pretty okay with with the vehicles, or I mean, her behavior shows that she knows this is her place. So in every move, in every look, you can figure it out. Even we saw her one in it's trying to do a hunt. Generally the sub-adult tigress, she's not even 2 years old, so generally the mother make the kill and then they feast on it, but she has started making her own kill in that area. So she has been like, this picture is like she's been stalking a stag, a big grown stag, and but unfortunately at the end she couldn't make it because she couldn't judge the distance. She was very quiet, nicely she went, but she couldn't judge the distance from where it needs to jump on the or get more close to the stag. The stag figured it out that she's there. So anyway, she came out, but she just didn't move. She moved out from there. She did spray mark and moved to a different place from where she has been like scanning that area, that is there any other prey around which she can try again. And it needs a lot of patience. And for a young tigress or a tiger, it's a commendable thing what she's doing. uh, that's their mother. So this is called the Dhavajandi female. It's her daughter I've been talking about. Even she is like that. She was very strategically. She used to do a lot of things, and she has been doing. So this is almost her last stage of life. I mean, if I consider that the 13 to 14 years the tigers live in the wild, so she's pretty old enough, maybe another couple of years, and but still she's doing great. Like when she walks, you know that okay, she is the boss. She knows everything, she knows the forest. So yeah, this is how she crossed the road right in front of our vehicle. This is one of our vehicle, this is our vehicle, what you see. So both of NH's vehicle were there. In between, we gave a space so that she can cross. And this walk is just incredible. Like when they walk, the shoulder up and down and everything, it's just stunning. And you can see here, it is not in a mood to like go behind the deer, but you can see here the deer, like she's walking and the deer kept on running from there, from this grassland area. So yeah, they know that when they need to run. But yes, and this is her, like her brother. So this female son is this. So they were five siblings, but out of five, only two are surviving right now. But he is mama's boy. Like whenever she's bringing a food, he will eat, and he mostly spend time being with the mother, or wherever he's staying, where the mother comes back, he will stay there, not move around much. And you can see that it was so close. But yeah, in both the, because the Davajandi female herself is a very fearless tiger. So I think these siblings have learned that thing. And so yeah, but this is the boy, but the female is much more sharper. When I saw it, behavior around it, it's really beautiful. So here is the male, and it has been like, you can see it here, there. And yeah, soon I think we will get to see some clips of this male somewhere. And so this is the male, he's going, but the female went, like his sister, it's went a little ahead, and we moved ahead. And again we saw, this is not the same day, it's on a different day, on a different safari. We saw that she has been again um, trying to make a kill. Look at her way, look at her eyes, her posture. It's been sitting like quiet just to observe, to get a glance like what exactly is happening around. There is a big meadow in front. So again, we had to leave this tigress there, and we had to come back because our time was getting over. And you can see this is the whole family here. This is the mother, Tavajandi. This is the female here, and here is the male. Like three of them were sitting right there. And so I have been like observing. This is a mobile picture. So imagine if in mobile it has come like this. So because I've been like watching them, like what they're doing, how they're communicating, how this fellow, and she actually fights back, this male. So was waiting that what, how their behavior, if they are giving a play fight, kind of they do, right? That would have been amazing to watch. So we have been watching this. This is the last day morning safari, and the last day morning safari was only for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, or yeah, near about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So within that also we got to see the tigers. And yeah, we have seen a male as well, but yeah, I don't think I have the picture of that. And also in Kanha, we had two leopard sighting, and this was the only our vehicle got to see this leopard. It was coming down. There was a small stream, like dry stream area, and it suddenly came down and just vanished. Like it just, that's why it's so elusive. Like you get to see so many tigers, but when you see a leopard, you should like tap on your back that you have seen it, because in this kind of habitat and they are so shy, it's very difficult to come across a leopard. But we have come across in Bandhavgarh, and in Kanha we have seen two. We had two leopard sightings, so it was really wonderful thing to do. And of course, we have this fellow. Most of the time, you will get to see in Bandhavgarh as well as in Kanha is the Indian flapshell turtle. And of course, turtles are my favorite, so I do admire them a lot. And of course, we have this dhole we have seen, which is another very, very rare animal to come across. I always say that you come across a tiger, but coming across a leopard, dhole, a sloth bear in this kind of habitat gets really difficult. And we not only have seen them once, but we have three sightings of dhole. So yeah, this is an Indian wild dog. And yeah, after that, we have another canid, which is the jackal, and I have like stopped the count, like how many times, at least 4 to 5 times we have come across jackals over there in Kanha. And yeah, they were actually moving from this from the from on this track, and their behavior was showing that there is something. And actually there was a tiger after they were been moving out there, so they actually let you know. I mean, if you observe these kind of animals, you really know that forest is trying to tell you something, their behavior is trying to tell you something. So you know that some predator or something is going around. And yes, their behavior was pretty like right bang on that there was a tiger around. Yeah, so and then we have seen all the deers in Kanha. So these are the barking deer. They are very small, and the spotted deer over there. And what I like about the barking deer is the beautiful eye out here and the frowning part of it. And also, they have a very long tongue. I could not take a picture of it. Almost the tongue reaches till the eye. You can imagine that how long it is. So yeah, this is a barking deer. It's again, it is not a very usual sighting you get to see because they are so shy, and they don't live in group. They are solitary, so any sound, anything is they're frightened about, they just move into the bush. And yes, then our highlight of Kanha National Park, which is the hard ground Barasingha. Um, and you can only see this hard ground Barasingha in Kanha, nowhere else in the world. And it's an amazing success of a conservation story of this Barasingha. And yeah, we got to see them very close. Generally in the summer, we they are like far away under the shade, but we got to see them really, really close, that they were standing right beside our vehicle. And most of the time, all the sightings has happened when there are not many vehicles around. All these unique sightings when we had. Yes, and after that, this is, I say that this is the Arnold Schwarzenegger of the forest. And this fellow, rather, I do come across a lot of big gores, especially in the southern part of India and northeastern part of India. But in central India, this is one of the biggest gore I have come across. They are the largest in the Bovidian. And the photograph didn't do the justice. You can see this hump. Look at the muscle here. I mean, it's incredibly the dewlap. I mean, just see this. He was huge. He was just huge, and yeah, we had an amazing. And it moved. It came down on a ground like where there is a little slanting ground, and you can see that with that body coming down and moving up, like again climbing back was really incredible. Yeah, so here, and of course, our entertainer is the langurs, who never fails to entertain us. Just look at it; it's just moving. These are two separate individuals. So first, I saw four limbs. I didn't see the face first. Four limbs on this branch, and then it just came out with its face. So yeah, they were holding like each arm is holding its leg, and this one might be getting some kind of a network for which he has to like keep its communication going on, and most probably the other one is kept on talking. And imagine how nice, like you see, you put your hand here and with your leg you can reach your face with your leg. Yeah, they are funny, they are very funny. And yeah, we again come across a lot of vulture in Kanha as well. And even while our vehicle was passing down there, they all looked exactly how we saw in Jungle Book, like the vultures were talking between each other while the animals were passing by. Yeah, and or in the Lion King especially. Yeah, better is a Lion King example, how the vultures were exactly behaving when the lion cub was on that deserted area. So yeah, they exactly behaved like that. And then after this we head to the Kaziranga National Park. And in Kaziranga National Park we were welcomed by like herd of elephant, and not only one, quite a few we got to see. And let me tell you that just two trips back, we couldn't see even a single wild elephant there. Just one, and that is also pretty far. We only saw the head of that elephant. And imagine this time we ended up seeing so many, and too many herds with so many infants over there. And so it was beautiful. And Kaziranga shares a very different type of habitat than Bandhavgarh and Kanha National Park. And I say that when Kanha is my crush, I say Kaziranga is my love. So yeah, this park is really special for me. So you can see around all the elephants. You can see this little one here, just behind this trunk. You can see it, and you can see this white part. These are all are egrets. So the elephants were walking through this grassland, and all these egrets were flying because when they walk, a lot of insects fly, and you can see they're so active. There's elephants, and when it comes to rhino, you will always find mynas and egrets around their feet. Um, yes, as I said, that we have seen quite a good number of herd. So you can see there, this little one. This is very much pregnant, and here is another tiny little one out there, a young male out here, and also munching on this water hyacinth. And you can see here what they do. They grab the water hyacinth, they wash the root, and they start munching on it. And you can see there is a young male which was taking a mud bath. Of course, it's very hot, and at the same time to get rid of the insects. It was there. It was far. It was a little away from the rest of the herd. And yeah, it's a young male. And then our showstopper of that national park is the greater one-horn rhinos. And this is a calf, maybe 4 years old. So very soon it will get dispersed from the mother. But entirely they were standing there, looking here and there, and then they crossed the road. And here is our another vehicle, and we were on this side. So yeah, it's quite a good shot. Look at their feet. Oh gosh, they are beautiful. And yeah, we have, as just like the elephants, we have seen so many rhinos in different habitat, in water, in the grassland, in the woodland, doing different things. And these two were playing. This was actually poking it, and it was running like chasing, just for the game. And it was moving and turning back, and again chasing this one back. So yeah, it was amazing to see them playing around out there. And of course we have seen rhinos like this as well. You can see there are too many, and actually there were three more on the left, which I didn't take into the frame. But yeah, we have seen so many rhinos. Even let me tell you that we have seen rhinos so close that we could hear its breathing, and only our vehicle was there. and we were quiet, like just looking at them, no movement, nothing. It was grazing, looking up at us, and find no disturbance, no threat, again going back to grazing. So yeah, it was I mean, you can smell, you can smell their, the body odor of the rhino, because they urinate, they then rub their feet on top of it, even they defecate and do that too, so that they can do the scent marking. So you can actually hear and smell the rhino even if you keep your eyes closed, just by keeping your other senses alive. You can feel that what the rhino is doing or what it is all about. So yeah, we have seen the water buffaloes, which has a huge horn. And yes, then while coming back, we had an amazing sighting of the smooth-coated otter, and it was rolling on the grass. Initially, we thought that it might be facing some problem, but then figured out that because they have three layers of like fur, so it need to dry it up, or it need to just rub to get out of the parasites, or how it is. So it came out of the water, it just rubbing itself, it was rubbing its back and rolling down, and even to just rub its belly, it just lie down on its belly and it was kept on rubbing. It was and of course otters are definitely very cuddly little things, and so yeah, it was really great sighting over there. And yeah, with that, I think Liz was so lucky to get to see the hog badger in the wild. And yeah, it's a small one. It looks like the hog. That's why how it's named as the hog badger. But they're small. They maximum grow up to like 12 to 14, 7 to 14, 14 15 kilos. That's it. That's how small it is. So yeah, a hog badger was also there in the sighting. And then we have another deer out there, is the hog deer. And hog deer we don't see in Kanha and Bandhavgarh. Only we get to see the hog deer in Kaziranga National Park. And here we have Samba, the largest deer, like one of the largest deer in Asia. So we get to see this deer in three national parks, but they look little morphologically, they look little different in Kaziranga. They are much more darker because the forest is very thick. So yeah, this is a hog deer. And then we come across this beautiful langurs. They are not like the northern, the gray langurs. They are different what we saw in Kanha and Bandhavgarh, and they are mostly forest dwellers. Like they don't come out wide in the open. So seeing them is a luck. And because it's in summer, their fur color is like this. But when during the breeding time, they change into orange, more golden and more orangish. I would say orangish tinge they have. The color changes, and you can see the face and the structure of the body is pretty different than the northern gray langurs. Yeah, so we got lucky with this one as well. And it's not a everyday thing that you get to see. uh, like, I think for the last few trips, at least we have seen this, but it's really difficult. But we got to see quite a good number of langurs out here, and they have been seating. They were not moving away from us. So yeah, with that, we have seen the hoary-bellied squirrel. There is another type of squirrel, and this was a very special one, which is the orange-bellied squirrel. And while we every time we look forward that at least we get to see one orange-bellied squirrel, but this time we saw six orange-bellied squirrel, and like six of them in that area, and two of them were playing around. And we have been like waiting for to show like waiting for them to show their belly, because that's the main for what the reason why they are called orange bellied. And so suddenly we have been waiting and waiting, and we were just enjoying their, they were like running behind each other, feeding, jumping from one branch to another. And we have been like saying, okay, one, two, now three, it's jump. So we have been doing all these things. So we were having crazy fun. And suddenly this fellow just hanged upside down. So it just, I mean, it just displayed a belly for which we have been waiting. So yeah, it was an incredible sighting, I would say. Then we went inside the, and this is outside the park itself. But in the core, we had to cross the core area itself to go to a different gate. So it's from there. And this is the giant squirrel, the Malayan giant squirrel. It grows really big, like their body is near about a feet, and tail can get more than a feet. So together it's more near about a 2 feet and some inches. So it's a big squirrel, and it had been looking at us. You could see that we all were watching, like looking at each other. And it has been, you can see this tiny buds here, it was feeding on those. And after a while it just lied down on this branch, and by hanging its tail, holding the tree, holding the branch, and it didn't move then from there. But yeah, what a great sighting. And then we moved from there, and we have been looking for the hulak gibbon, the one and only ape we have in India. But in that area where we get to see this family, we couldn't see them. But suddenly we got a call, because it is not inside the park, outside. We got a call from another naturalist of the same lodge we stay in, that you can see the gibbons. And we came back, and we saw this family, this young lad, the female, and here is the male. Oh, sorry. And here is the male, the black one, what you see here. Look at their arm, how they swing. And I don't know how she was tolerating this one. This has been taking so much risk to jump from here and there. And then later she held him here and then brought it back, like to her. So but we couldn't hear them calling, which is my favorite, because when they call, they they make us feel that the whole forest is alive, and they are so loud. But yeah, we had a very good sighting of this hula gibbon. So this also got into the list. And after we had our gibbon sighting, we have been moving towards the farthest, like western gate. So this is on the way we got to see all these things, that we didn't have to get inside the park. So after we were coming out, like after the gibbon sighting, we were moving ahead. And we got to see something, but I'll show you the picture later, because I have kept that one, because I have to tell that story. So I kept it for the last. But yes, inside the park we got to see a few more endangered species turtles. This is called the Assam roof turtle. And another one, this is the Indian roofed turtle. And with that we got to see the Bengal monitor, which we saw it in Kanha and in Bandhavgarh as well. So yes, we got to see quite a few. And I think when Liz was in the other vehicle, she got to see the water monitor as well in Kaziranga National Park. So yeah, we got to see this and some beautiful birds, which is the chestnut-headed bee-eater. We got to see green bee-eater as well, and this fellow just showing off, like it was just walking. The female was around though, but the female went inside. But it's on the way, like it was there in the middle. Then it slowly got inside the this bush, and it kept on displaying its feathers. And this is a colors pheasant, one of the beautiful pheasant. I mean, I wish I could take a better picture of it so that you could have get an idea that how beautiful it is. And we got to see another raptor, which is the gray-headed fish eagle. And I like this bird because they talk back. If you know how to mimic the call, just make 2 3 calls and wait, and you would get to hear a gray-headed fish eagle is replying you back. So I love to communicate with them. With that, this is the story I was talking about. That we came out after the gibbon sighting. So again, this is not inside the park, but both the core area, in between we have the road, but the core area is both on both the sides. Yeah. So suddenly while coming, and it is a hilly terrain, so suddenly I felt that some leaves, are falling from the top. So that leaves are falling like this, so some movement must be happening. And I just looked up and I saw the great hornbill, and it was so close to us. And generally this time of the year it gets difficult, because this is already the nesting has happened. So the male generally get back with the food. So during the courtship time, which is like the February and March beginning time, you see them often, because they do courtship, they fly from this place to that place, so you see them wild. But in May, it gets really difficult, but we got to see him and it was very close, and it has shown preening, picking, hopping, like small short flight, uh, almost rubbing its beak, feeding, like taking the berries, and then it took a flight. And I think this is one of the best hornbill sighting of this season I had. So yeah, this has been the wonderful, wonderful sighting of the great hornbill, and they're so big that when they fly, you can actually hear that sound of the wing. And I always say that they're incredible birds. And with this, not but the list is this. I think this the last sighting of the season went so well, so that's why I kept it for the last. Is the it called the golden tiger, and they're very very rare, and only few are there, in two or three are there in Kaziranga National Park. So out of that, in this entire national park, you have only that much, and you got to see one. I think that's an incredible thing. And though in Kaziranga it is very difficult to come across a tiger, because of the vegetation, they one of the highest this park has one of the highest density of tiger, but just because of the vegetation it's very difficult to come across a tiger. And at the same time, I always say that Kaziranga has too many things to offer, because we are coming from Bandhavgarh and Kana. We already get too many tiger sightings, so we focus on the other animals. And if we know that, okay, the movement is happening, and definitely we go and look for it. But yes, this was surprise. This was totally like we were not prepared that, because most of the time you would see, right, that this is so rare that hardly you would come across. But coming across this golden tiger was definitely the cherry on the cake. So yes, with that, I'll end my webinar. Thank you so much for listening. I know I had to go really, I had to rush through, but till I'm telling you, I haven't put all the birds we have come across. Like it's more than 170 species of birds. We could have, like, I could have put, and there are other small animals as well, which I could not mention. But with all this, I mean, as much as I could do in this 1 hour. But one thing is so true, that you know that this climate change and everything, like we are definitely, like, climate change, pollution, and the biodiversity loss, like impacting us all. And that is also in an alarming rate. And this is a very significant example that when there is a very good habitat, I think too many animals can thrive. And of course, when there are animals, there are plants and a beautiful habitat, with that we thrive. So of course the environment is so special for us, and I hope we all will take care of it, and as well as how we become very happy, and we will keep traveling, keep exploring, and do a lot more for conservation. Thank you so much. Okay, Rob, I'm ready to take up questions.
All right. Thank you, Arpita. Now, before we start in with the question and answer session, I would like to remind everyone that you can submit your questions via the question field in your control panel. So, can you tell us what time of year this trip was taken?
Oh, this has started from 24th of April, 24th to 7th of May.
So, is it fair to say that late season trips
Summer. It's peak summer.
peak summer? Is it fair to say that the later season trips you'll see more species than, say, an earlier
Uh,
trip?
no, not really. Not really. It's every time, every season has a different flavor. You get to see a lot. Even in December, January, we get great sighting. Maybe last year it has happened, but I think this time, this trip got an amazing response. And the most thing is, this was more, we were making, like, we were more happy because none of the guests were expecting anything. They just wanted to see one tiger. They're happy. the, and it was like coming back to back. This is all what has happened. But no, there is nothing specific. But yeah, if you come during March, April, or from February to March, then you see a different habitat. Like, it's nice, not very cold, not very warm, so you get good sightings.
Great, that's great to know. Thank you. So, is this trip being presented as a photo trip, or there seems to be a lot of photo opportunities?
Yeah, Grand India has huge photo opportunities. Huge. I'm not like a photographer. Like, I just keep clicking. So imagine if you have those kind of lenses, or if you have a good gear like your body, I think you can capture amazing pictures. But this Grand India trip is not a photographic trip. But of course, there is a lot of photo. I mean, there are too many animals, amazing habitat. Every time you would feel that, okay, I can take this picture, like that.
Great, thank you so much. So, how many vehicles commonly grow out in a group on a tiger safari?
So first of all, I would just to make it clear that this is not a tiger safari. The tiger safari, that the tiger quest, what happens, that happens in Ranthambore. Okay, so here, for this time, we had only three guests, so we had two vehicles, so like two in each vehicle. So this is how the vehicle, I mean, allocation happened here. And when there is a full group, we have three vehicles.
Great, thank you so much. So, is the golden tiger a distinct species of tiger?
No, 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 no. It's the same Panthera tigris. But actually, this is the rare coloration is caused by a recessive gene mutation. Okay, and that's called like the erythrithm. And what happens is, like, which replaces this all black, the color, the black stripes which the tiger has, into, uh, I mean, it change into orangish or brownish. So if you see this tiger, you can see this is more like a little brownish here, the stripes. So this is the work of the gene. That's it, a recessive gene mutation.
All right, thank you so much. So, are vultures rebounding now that they've banned pesticides?
Oh, great. Amazing question. Yeah, so now we are actually getting back a good number of vultures. Actually, recently, a census has happened in March or April. I have to just check that, in 2024 only. So in Bandhavgarh National Park only, we got more than 340 vultures in count. So which has really like is good. And that is a good number, because we had only few, like less than hundreds, almost uh, 8 to 10 years back. But right now, almost more than the double. So it's definitely a great comeback.
Great, thank you. Is rhino poaching as much of a problem in India as it is in Africa?
No, no, we are in a much better situation, touch wood. Like, it's very sorry to like say, or it feels very sorry that how things are happening there. But here in India, Nepal, so Bhutan, I think these are the countries which did an amazing, a great job on that. So we do have poaching, but definitely not like African place. Because I know why this questions, I'm sorry, I'm taking little time on it, because I have, a guest has asked me that, is there any guard with every rhino you have in the park? So that was kind of a, a big, concerning question, and I could feel that from where it was coming from, because exactly how they know, how see you see it in Africa, but we know that, but here they roam around freely. Like, we don't cut down its horn, we don't have the guard with every rhino, and also no like radio collars and stuff. So there are patrolling camps, so the guards keep on patrolling not only for the rhino, but for the entire forest. And we do have special rhino forces, which is always active inside the park or in the patrolling camps. So yeah, in that way we have less poaching in India, Nepal, and Bhutan.
Great. Thank you so much. So, do you actually see true albino tigers?
So this is actually, tigers are not albinos. There are white tigers, and again, it's a work of the gene. Like, because albinos, you have red eye, right? But the tigers, the white tigers, they have blue or greenish eyes. So that is completely a genetic mutation, not an albino or leucistic.
All right. Thank you so much. So, does the cost of the trip change if there are, say, only two guests instead of six or eight?
That I think you need to get back to the info at the rate nathab.com.
Gotcha. Uh, all right. So, absolutely send an email to info@nathab.com to clarify on
Yes.
that question. Um, So, unfortunately, that is going to be the last question that we do have time for today, Arpita. So, I'd like to hand it back to you for any closing comments you may have for us today.
And I think listening to me for a longer period of time, I would thank everyone for that. And thank you for asking so many questions. I really love to get them. And have a great day, and have a great week ahead as well. And Rob, thank you so much for hosting so nicely every time. Everybody,
And
bye bye and take care.
as usual, Arpita, thank you so much for taking the time to come in and present for us today. And I'd also like to thank everyone who tuned in today. Now, if you're interested in information on how you can travel with Nat Hab, please give us a call at the number on your screen, or you can send us an email at info@nathab.com. Our adventure specialists are happy to help you out. Join us tomorrow for our next daily dose of nature. You can check out this week's lineup, including registration links, on our website at nathab.com/webinars. We did record today's presentation, and we will have the replay available on our website soon. With that, I will conclude the webinar. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next time.